Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and flip through my Hobonichi cousin for the month of September. It is the end of October now, and I still have yet to film this video, so I'm going to go ahead and get it filmed. I will say that September was just as much of a difficult month, I guess, for me to journal. I didn't do much here on my habit tracker situation either. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've just kind of lost the momentum this year. Had a lot of stuff happening in October, and I probably will not be sharing an October flip through just because there's a lot of doctor's appointments and crazy stuff happening in October that I can't share at the moment, at least not maybe anytime soon. Let's see. So my monthlies, again, almost nothing in here. There was a couple of days where I actually did do things and I made sure to put little notes or doodles or stickers down for those. So I've got a couple of things in here that I recorded. And then for my weeklies, I'm pretty sure these are just as bare. Okay, so it's the first week of September I did decent. I basically stopped tracking habits somewhere in this month. Let's see. I went on a date night. We went and saw Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, my husband and I. I decorated for Halloween in mid-September. I decorated this page and loved it, and I think didn't even come in other than the right two things. And then this week was pretty decent, coming in here wise. We had a potluck at work, so I documented that. Just feeling very tired. Went to a first birthday party for my friend's child, and I did track my habits this week as well. So yeah. And then this was the last week where I did fill in the first couple of days, and then we're in October and I didn't fill anything in there. So if we flip back to my dailies, not my weeklies, let's see, August. Again, there's a lot of bare days. So this was my cover page for September, which I loved. I did record this setup and have it on my channel as well. And then the very first day of September, I had low sugar and cut my hand. So I tried to draw my hand. I think I was just holding it like this and trying to like mimic what my hand looks like. And to be honest, I think I did a pretty good job. On the second, I was just putting a little title about how ready for spooky season I was, and that's literally all I had to say that day. I started rereading a book that I read in my early 20s. It is a young adult book, and I enjoyed it. It's called Sora's Quest. I didn't put anything on the 4th or the 5th. The 6th, I had some washi tapes from the washi tape shop come in. So I just pulled off all of the stickers that they used to hold their wrapping down and placed those on this page. On the 7th, I made some homemade sausage and kale soup. It was so delicious, and I'm so glad that I put a photo in here of this. On this day, actually, the 6th, I also made some blueberry swirl things that were really good as well. And I think, did I put a picture of that in my weeklies? I may have put a picture of that in here. Maybe I didn't, because I probably would have said something about it. No, I just wrote that I did it. And I've got a picture around here somewhere that I think I printed out to put in here, but I never did because I had put all the washi tape stuff in there. On the 8th, I just put a bunch of little flowers I had left over from a sticker sheet and just wrote "You Deserve Love" underneath it. On the 9th, I just found a bunch of stickers that I had sitting for a long time and just placed them all down. And used them up and then wrote a little journaling about making a sticker montage from a collection that I had printed out and just getting them all used up. And I actually really like this page. On the 10th, I bought Silk Song and started playing Silk Song. So that's my little doodle of Hornet. Love Hornet. And then one of my best friends wrote me a little note in here, and I drew like a little sticky note doodle around it. And I just love this so much. I definitely need to have people do this more often because I've come back and read this several times, and it just brings me a lot of joy. I didn't journal anything on the 11th, and then on the 12th was my date night to go see the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie. 5 stars. Love it. One of my favorite shows of all time. Cannot wait for the next movie to come out. On Saturday the 13th, I went to Painting with a Twist, and we painted a little Highland cow. I don't know if you'll even really be able to see that very well. And one of my subscribers and friends sent me this precious cow washi tape, and I thought it would be perfect to use with this documentation of my Highland cow painting. On the 14th, I wrote about migraines, body aches, low sugar, high sugar, irritable, just not the best day. So I just did a big ugh and highlighted it, and then just added a few words about how I was feeling. On the 15th, I did a bunch of doodles, and actually, as I look at these now, I really enjoy them. When I first doodled these out, I thought that they looked terrible. But now that I'm looking back at them, I think I really like them. And honestly, maybe I will turn these breads into a sticker. Who knows? Or not a sticker, a stamp. So I just had a little to-do list, and then that's basically all I did. I didn't come back in here this day and actually do much. A bunch of blank pages. And then I decided that I was going to try and do a new font. So I started doing this one, and you'll see that quite a bit going forward for the rest of the pages of September. On the 23rd, I went to Miramar and the Cheesecake Factory and was just super, super tired. I never sleep well when I travel, so obviously that happened again. And I made a big note about how I didn't sleep well. And then we traveled back home. On the 25th, didn't journal anything. And then on the 26th, I went into work and somebody had stolen my chair from my desk. And I am very particular about my chair and like my things at my desk. So this put me in a whole tizzy. And I was just unwell for the whole day just because of this whole chair situation. I don't even want to think about it because it was terrible. On the 27th, my husband and I started watching Attack on Titan and quite literally just spent the rest of the month and a good portion of October watching every episode that was available. So I was writing about that. On the 28th, I went to a journal meetup. And I stuck with the same thing that I normally do when I go to the journal meetups, where I will just use any supplies that they have in the middle of the table and use those to decorate a page. And it's just really fun to flip through my journal and see one page each month that looks almost pretty similar when I go to the journal meetups. On the 29th, I did a lot of filming. So I just wrote the titles of each of the videos I managed to film this day. On the 30th, I woke up with some maybe I didn't wake up with it this day, but I was having the weirdest elbow pain and it sucked. It really sucked. So I was writing about that here. And then we are into October. And again, like I said, I probably won't be sharing too much of October whenever This one is fun. I went to a stamp carving class. Maybe I can show a couple of things here. And then I did a Spackle Ghosts Hang Out with a Friend, a witch photo shoot. Yeah, everything else is stuff I can't share yet. This was my journal meetup for October, this page. Super cute. Loved that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for the month of September. Again, not a super filled month. And hopefully I can really get back into this in November. In November. I won't have a flip through of October, like I said, just yet, but I will have hopefully a November setup coming out soon enough. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!